Hi everyone, welcome to VMtalks. I am VivekMurali Thiyagarajan. Today we will see 10 characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. We know many of us are business personnel, we do business, but what makes a normal businessman into a most successful businessman? So that's a challenge over here. So the first point is, for a successful entrepreneur, you need to have the curiosity. So many things exist in this world. Always an entrepreneur finds a way to make a better thing out of it. So what are the services you see, what are the products you see, or what are the things you are doing, you want to improvise to have a quality as well as usefulness for the mankind. So that kind of curiosity is what drives them into a successful entrepreneur. Second point is structured experimentation. A successful entrepreneur does whenever they are going for a new product or a new service, out of their curiosity, they always do a structured experimentation. Take a small thing out of it, first try it. If it's successful, then we'll go for large scale production. So this will have less disruption in your day-to-day activity. At the same time, whatever the money you are investing on trying to develop the new product or kind of service, you will be able to find out whether it is successful or not. Even if you are losing the money, it won't have a great impact on your day-to-day business. That's the point. So you need to have a structured experimentation. Third point is adaptability. So whenever the scenario changes in a business, you need to adapt quickly. You can't say, oh, this is what has been for nearly 10 years or 20 years or 2 decades or 5 decades, so I will continue the same. That you can't say really. Your adaptability matters. The world is fast changing. Every decade, many businesses go out of the market. New businesses flow into the market. So we need to have a pulse of what's going on among the population. So what is the present requirement? What is the present scenario? So when you gauge that, obviously you want to be adaptable in your business. Fourth point is decisiveness. Sometimes we have to take tough decisions, but those decisions decide how the organization is going to perform in the long run. So many people think sentimentally, I can't do this, or this is how it has been, so I can't change it. So some people fear that the resources may think the opposite way if they take a bold stance. But believe me, let it be even a pricing factor. What the competitor is offering, if I'm increasing my pricing, obviously the market won't respond. So many ifs and buts will come. But once you keep yourself steadfast to the decision you have made, so that's what is going to make the real difference to be successful amongst them. Fifth point is team building. No entrepreneur can make his or her business successful without having a proper team. So whenever I am saying a team, it's like 5 fingers in a hand. They are not equal. So they have different backgrounds, they come with different competencies, they come with different weaknesses. So as an entrepreneur, as a team lead, you have to make sure that you harness each and everyone's potential and make the best use of it. So such team building is essential, and you should know in person what are the key strengths and weaknesses of each of your team, because that's what decides how successful we are going to be. Sixth point is risk tolerance. So we as a successful entrepreneur need to be comfortable with some level of risk involved in our business. Without having risk, we can't have any reward. How I am going to take the risk, how much risk I am happy to take, that's the key point over here. So that depends on how much money you are making in your business. Let's say I am making 1 lakh per month as my income from my company. So having something like 25,000 is as a trial is acceptable for me. Whereas if I am investing 90,000 of money into a trial and error method, so obviously I have to think over it, because if it goes well and good, then it's fine. But if I'm failing, obviously I will lose the whole month's income. So we need to have a threshold with which we are comfortable with. So if I'm earning 1 lakh, so obviously my risk tolerance will be, personally I'm saying, I would say 40,000 is okay. Let it come, let it go. Still I can play the game with it to make sure whether my new prospect is going to work or not. So that kind of risk tolerance should be there, and we have to take a calculated risk. That's what makes us a successful entrepreneur. Come with the seventh point, which is very rare. At the same time, it's must. Comfortable with failure. Whenever you fail, you have to be very comfortable with it. Don't squeeze yourself. Don't put everything into your head. Don't think everything has happened because of you. No, you have taken the initiative, but it has failed. So we need to be comfortable with the failure if it comes on the way. Again, making it a stepping stone is another point. But the thing is, how comfortable we are with failure decides how successful we will be in the long run. All successful entrepreneurs have this 8th character, which is persistence, being resilient. Whenever they are coming across a very difficult situation, they can handle it and they will be in a mood to come out of it. So they won't slog in the same problem, they won't care about what bad has happened. Always they look for new opportunity. So that's what makes them successful. So the 9th point of every successful entrepreneur is innovation. Innovation in our product, innovation in our service. We can't capture the market without innovating something new out of it. It doesn't mean all I have to come up with a new rocket or science, nothing like that. Take whatever is there in the market, improvise it, make sure the customer likes it, make sure it eases off the workload of customer, or it brings happiness to the customer. So that kind of innovation is going to lead us to be very successful in the market. And finally, long-term focus. All the successful entrepreneurs, they have had this long-term focus. They have this to-do list. They know what to do in the short term and how their company is going to perform in the long run. So they have this vision which makes them unique, and that vision, when it's transformed with work and smartness, obviously leads to be a very successful entrepreneur. Thank you very much for listening to VM Talks, and this presentation is based on an article by Kelsey Miller in Harvard Business School online blog. Thank you.